Okay, so imagine this. You know that feeling you get when you're just about to put on a vinyl record?
Yeah.
There's a whole ritual to it,
Wait,
right?
yeah.
Like you carefully slide that record out of its sleeve
Hmm?
and place it just so on the platter. And then that moment, you drop the needle.
Oh, yeah.
It's like almost sacred. And then there's that little bit of surface noise just before the music starts.
Right.
And if you're someone who's, really invested in building a vinyl collection, something that means a lot to you,
Mm-hmm.
you naturally want to preserve that whole experience,
Yeah.
especially the sound. Right?
Absolutely.
And that's really what we're going to be diving deep into today.
Exactly. This deep dive is all about how to preserve your vinyl records
Yes.
and how to really keep those sounds that you love so much vibrant and like a perfect time capsule for years and years to come.
It's so important now, especially, right? I mean, vinyl has had this huge resurgence.
Yeah.
And it's not just a fad. It's like more and more people are really connecting with this whole physical experience of it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Artwork, actually holding it,
Yeah.
it's like
A whole ritual.
it's like a tangible piece of musical history.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing how to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just for audiophiles. It's about making sure that unique sound, that connection to the past, stays intact.
Totally.
And we want to give you some real actionable insights
Yeah.
without all the fluff and hype and
Absolutely. Cut through all of the noise.
all that stuff. Yeah.
So we'll be going through the history of vinyl,
Yes.
how it started, how it came back.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll get into the core techniques of how to keep your records in perfect condition. Everything from how to store them to how to clean them, how to handle them carefully,
Right.
how your equipment affects them,
Yes.
and why those little inner sleeves matter so much.
Okay.
And just to make things interesting, we've also dug up some really surprising, kind of quirky facts about the world of vinyl
I love it.
along the way.
Okay, fantastic. So someone who I think really, embodies this passion for preserving vinyl is Michael Framer.
Oh, absolutely.
He's been such an advocate. He's a senior contributing editor at Stereophile magazine.
Yeah, a leading authority.
And his insights are really like part of the foundation of what we're talking about today.
Definitely.
So I think it makes sense to start, at the beginning, right? How did vinyl even come to be? Where did it all start?
Well, we have to go all the way back to 1877 to Thomas Edison's phonograph. That was the Big Bang moment that kicked it all off.
Right.
But the vinyl format that we all know and love, that really took hold in the mid-20th century. It became the dominant way people listened to music, especially in the 60s and 70s. Think about all the classic albums from those decades.
Oh, yeah, the LP was king. I mean, it's hard to imagine a time when that wasn't the main way people listened to music.
Right.
And then, of course, came CDs.
Yeah.
And then this whole digital music revolution. It felt like vinyl was going to become a thing of the past, like a relic.
Like going the way of the dinosaur?
Totally. But then something super interesting happened.
It had a comeback.
It came back.
Yeah.
And it's not just like a small resurgence. It's like sales are getting back up to those levels we saw in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think is behind that? Beyond just people feeling nostalgic,
Yeah.
I
think it's a few things, It's definitely about the experience of holding the record.
Yeah.
Seeing that big artwork, the whole ritual of putting it on the turntable. But I think it's also about how you engage with the music itself. It's different than digital. You're more active in the listening.
Okay.
And I think with this new appreciation comes this sense of, we got to preserve these things.
Right.
They're not just digital files you can copy.
Yeah.
They're physical things that need care.
They are objects. They're artifacts.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about how to keep these treasures in great shape.
Let's do it.
Let's start with something that might seem obvious, but it's really important.
Okay.
Storage.
Yeah.
It's more than just having a place to put your records, right?
It's way more than that, yeah.
Yeah.
The number one rule is always store them vertically,
Okay.
like books on a shelf.
Okay.
This prevents them from warping because if they're stacked flat, the weight can really mess them up over time.
Okay, so what if someone has a small collection and it's more convenient to store them flat? Is there a risk even with just a few records? Or is vertical always better no matter what?
Honestly, vertical is always the safest bet.
Okay.
Even a little bend can affect how it sounds.
Oh, wow.
And it's not just about standing them up. The shelves or crates you use matter too.
Right.
You need something sturdy so they don't lean or bend.
That makes sense.
And you got to be careful about the environment too.
Okay.
Direct sunlight is a no-no, and so are extreme temperatures.
So no attics or basements.
Right. Heat can warp the vinyl, and sunlight fades the covers. So, a cool, dark, and dry place is ideal.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So once you've got the storage sorted, the next big thing is cleaning.
Oh, yeah. Cleaning is key.
It's amazing how much dust and grime can build up,
I know. It's crazy, right?
even when they're just sitting there.
Yeah, and all that gunk affects the sound.
Okay.
So regular cleaning is crucial.
Got it.
A good record cleaning brush is a must-have.
What kind could people look for?
One with soft bristles, like carbon fiber, something gentle that won't scratch the vinyl,
Okay.
that'll get rid of most of the dust.
But sometimes a brush just isn't enough, is it?
Yeah.
What about more stubborn stuff?
For that, you need a record cleaning solution.
Okay.
There are lots of good ones out there, made just for vinyl.
Are those DIY solutions with distilled water and alcohol safe?
Some people use them, but I'd be super careful with those.
Okay.
You need the right ratio, or you could damage the record.
Oh, right.
And whatever you do, stay away from household cleaners.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
They have harsh chemicals that can ruin your vinyl.
So no grabbing the Windex, no matter how tempting.
Exactly.
Okay, so storage, cleaning. What about how we actually touch the records?
Oh, that's super important too.
Yeah.
Always handle them by the edges or the label in the center.
Okay.
Never touch the grooves themselves.
Why is that so important?
Yeah.
It seems pretty obvious, but like at a microscopic level, what's going on?
Well, even when your fingers seem clean, they have oils and tiny bits of stuff on them.
Oh, right.
And when you touch the grooves, that transfers onto the vinyl,
Okay.
and then it attracts more dust and dirt. And then when you play the record,
Yeah.
the stylus is basically grinding against all that gunk,
Oh.
and it degrades the sound over time.
So it's like leaving fingerprints on the music, but fingerprints that actually make it sound worse.
Exactly. It's like smudging the music itself.
Wow, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got storage, cleaning, and handling all covered. But what about the equipment we use to play the records? That must have an impact on preservation too, right?
Oh, absolutely. A poorly maintained turntable can actually damage your records while you're playing them.
Oh, wow.
It's important to have your turntable properly calibrated
Okay.
so that the stylus tracks the grooves correctly and with the right amount of pressure.
What parts of the calibration are most important for protecting the records?
The tracking force is key.
Okay.
If there's too much pressure, it wears down the grooves.
Okay.
Too little pressure, and the stylus might skip and scratch the record.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
And then there's the anti-skate setting
Mm-hmm.
that makes sure the stylus sits evenly in the groove.
Okay.
And of course, keeping the stylus itself clean is super important.
Yeah.
A dirty or worn stylus is like a tiny plow digging into the vinyl.
Oh, no.
There are special brushes and cleaning fluids for the stylus,
Got it.
and you want to check it regularly and replace it when it's worn out.
So basically, taking care of your whole turntable setup is as important as taking care of the records themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about those inner sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
They seem like such a basic thing,
Right.
but they're more important than we might think.
Way more important.
Yep.
Those paper sleeves that a lot of records come in,
Yeah,
they can actually cause tiny scratches when you slide the record in and out.
really.
Yeah, it's best to upgrade to anti-static polyethylene-lined sleeves.
Okay.
They're smoother, gentler on the vinyl.
So they won't scratch it up.
Right. And they help reduce static, which attracts dust.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's a small change that makes a big difference over time.
So just switching out the sleeves can really help preserve the records for longer.
For sure.
Okay, those are some of the fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
But we also came across some less conventional ideas for preservation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are some of those more outside-the-box approaches?
Well, one thing you could do is make a high-quality digital backup of your collection.
Oh, interesting.
Now, this isn't about replacing the vinyl experience.
Okay.
It's more like a safety net, preserving the music in a different format.
So you have a backup in case something happens to the record.
Exactly.
All right.
Plus, you can listen to your music on the go without risking the actual records.
Right, that's smart.
There are special turntables with USB connections,
Okay.
or you can connect your stereo to your computer.
Right.
Just make sure you use a high-resolution file format
Okay, good to
so you
see.
don't lose any sound quality.
So you have the best of both worlds, the vinyl at home and the digital on the go.
Exactly.
What was that other outside-the-box tip?
Joining the vinyl community.
Yeah.
There are online forums, social media groups, Even local clubs. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great way to connect with other collectors.
Okay.
Share tips, learn about new products, and even find people who can repair or clean your records.
Like a whole network of support and knowledge.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now for some fun stuff.
Yeah.
We also found some really quirky facts about vinyl.
Oh, yeah, this is where it gets interesting.
It's like, did you know there's a vinyl record that's over 27 feet in diameter?
Oh, yeah, it's massive.
It's unbelievable.
They made it in 2012 for the 30th anniversary of Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Wow.
It puts our regular 12-inch records to shame.
That's for sure.
It just shows you the impact that vinyl has had and how much people love it,
Yeah.
even today.
It's amazing.
And then there's the story of NASA's Golden Record.
Oh, yeah. The one on the Voyager spacecraft. That's mind-blowing.
I know, right?
It really puts things into perspective.
Totally.
So back in 1977, they launched this record into space.
Yeah.
It has sounds and music from Earth,
Mm-hmm.
like a message in a bottle for any aliens out there.
You know, just in case.
It's incredible.
It is. And the fact they chose vinyl for this message
Yeah.
says a lot about how important it is. It connects this everyday object to something so much bigger, like interstellar communication.
It's like a cosmic time capsule.
Yeah, it really is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you want our listeners to remember about preserving their vinyl?
I think the key takeaway is that it's not just about sound quality.
Okay.
It's about being a guardian of musical history.
Hmm.
Each record holds the music, but also its own story, its journey.
Yeah.
By taking care of your collection, you're keeping those stories alive.
Okay.
You're a steward of musical heritage, making sure future generations can enjoy it too.
That's a beautiful way to think about it.
Yeah.
So if you use the right techniques, the storage, the cleaning, the careful handling,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even some of those outside-the-box tips,
Definitely.
your collection will bring you joy for years to come.
Absolutely. It'll be a legacy.
And maybe even your kids and grandkids will get to enjoy it too.
Exactly.
And as you're taking care of your collection, I think it's cool to think about the stories behind each record. Who you were with when you first heard it, where you found it, the memories tied to those songs.
Mm-hmm.
Each record isn't just music history, it's a piece of your own personal history.
It really is your own little time capsule.
Yeah, I love that.